Okay, welcome viewers and web designers, developers, creative media designers. If you consider yourself anything with web dash or designer or UX or a UI type of thing, you're going to be very interested on this training session that I'm doing here. I hope 10-minute sessions. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, but I do these sessions so you get training how to make web VR worlds. And if I show you the source of one of these web VR worlds, with links, with text, with content, if I show you how this is made, you're going to laugh because you think this is video game technology or anything too cryptic, too complicated, and it's anything but that. So I'm just going to actually give you a sample of the source document for one of these virtual worlds. We're going to take a quick scanning through. Okay. So as we scan through, we can see how we can load multiple elements and assets into this markup. This is essentially like regular web design, but in 3D. So there are a few things that you want to do. You want to set your markup when you get started with a project of 3D VR, such as this one. And then you also want to have those assets, such as these 3D files, these signs, which are JPEGs, and everything that is loaded into the code. So as we were scanning through, you can see how in the top we load all the images that are going to be present, and we're going to use file paths. Okay, and we're going to replace those for paths to PNG files, JPEG files, bitmaps. When it comes to using the image tag. Now when it comes to use the audio tag, because we can also load audio files, what we do is we identify those all objects and elements. For example, the audio element can be identified with sound click, and then you can get this sound click from an MP3 file. This MP3 file, if you play it individually, is going to to be trackable under URL. So that's the beauty of the build up of these 3D worlds. These are all external assets, and you have this centralized document, this HTML template document with some JavaScript, which basically what it does is it triggers the worlds, it triggers the connection, the links. This is like hyperlinks. Okay, so you can make any object, any prop on this 3D world a hyperlink, which you click and you get teleported to another dimension, another world. And where do you get these worlds, and how do you host them? Well, I like to use this website called Cloudinary. So in Cloudinary, what you do is you go and you load your assets. You create an account. It gives you quite a lot of memory. So I'm just going to log in this bad boy. Let's get in. Boom, boom. If I go to my media library, I'm going to find all these assets. All right. So this folder is quite messy, but if I show you in a list, you can see there are few folders. So components are essentially some JavaScript files that you attach, but you don't have to worry about this. I will show you this in the more advanced session. You have images, and on this folder, what you do is you load all the images that you are going to use in your web. Okay. This is exactly what it is. Images, backgrounds, signs, anything that is going to compose your 3D site. These are assets that you load to make your site. PNG files, background images. We're going to learn how to do all this, how to build these futuristic realities. Now, this is a texture. We're going to use textures as well, and this is just a very exciting time to learn all these techniques. Integrate your logo, your images, your text, however the hell you want into this full experience. Now, what I recommend is that you upload this into your cloud, and then when you go and click into one of the assets, you can go and generate an HTTPS reference that you're going to copy. There you go. You see how I'm hand-holding you through the experience of creating these virtual worlds. Now let me just open this portal box. Let me just give you an example of that. How do you load one of those assets from images? There you go. So you have a name and you have the source. Okay, save, preview in the browser, open up your file, you're going to see how all these files get placed in a 3D space. This is very, very cool. You can get 3D objects from Google Poly. This is a great resource. And also you can find really cool resources in CodePen, right? That's where you find, I have found a bunch of examples of inspiration and ideas. You can just take the code, look how clean this markup is. It's all powered by this essential framework, which I really love. I really like you to use it. It's called A-Frame, and I really support these guys by Mozilla, Google, building this amazing framework for 3D. I like to also go here to a blog and find some examples, the A-Frame blog. And another resource that I really like is the cdnaframe.io. In here, what you can do is upload files, generate URLs from those files, and then go to your HTML, your markup file, and paste it. And that's exactly what's going on here. If you can tell, I'm loading an asset, pasting it here. So okay, we have talked about Google Poly assets, creating 3D worlds, about the source document, which is an HTML file, loading the script file. This is how all the project starts, and the genesis, the seminal component of the site is this script that powers everything else. Otherwise, it is a simple plain HTML document that probably is not that useful without the JS file. But still, you can make it as a markup. So experience of developing the virtual world web and the virtual realities of the browser are now driven by markup technologies. At this point on the code, we see JavaScript. So what we do here is create a function which is set one zine, and say, okay, document, get me this element by ID, and I'm going to call zine 6, all right? And I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to set you this attribute for you, be visible, and comma, bit, so true, right? And then get element by ID is in 5. So what you're doing here is, all right, I'm going to create this function right away, and I'm going to do is I'm going to make you be clickable, and I'm going to make you go to a different section. All right, so I don't know if I did this JavaScript right or wrong, but it just freaking works anyways. This is a sample from CodePen that I edited, so I included it into my file, which I'm calling Portal Box, and I'm making Portal Box a reference document that everybody can access. I'm going to leave the link so you can see a markup and how those assets are referenced. We talk about Cloudinary being a great source for placing those assets, and CodePen. Now let's just wrap it up in this 10-minute session. We learn a bunch of things, and we're just trying to let it sink in, let it breathe through it, and learn the technique before getting your hands dirty. So to start the project, if you want to start a project, we'll tell you exactly what you do. Now, make sure you have your website available where you can host. So I have multiple domains, and I have my local files. One of those files is going to be this VR world file, or I can just drag and drop from my my assets folder. Okay, whatever is the case, this is your end products, websites with animation in 3D that you can make, that you can allow your users to teleport to different areas of the world and universes that you create. Content formats is simply amazing. So get the markup, set your assets, and insert all this content, and you're going in the right direction with WebVR. Okay, I hope you enjoy this video, this short video introductory, medium term type of lesson, short and sweet. Play with it. Take your next half an hour, whatever time you have. Create your own world. Thank you for watching.